Okay. Let me know if you could hear me. Hi, friends. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. It's Friday. Get some cleanse the space. Everything a good cleanse while we wait for our friends to come in. Oh, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. I wanted to light a candle, and today I have eucalyptus rain. Let's see. We had some friends that dropped in earlier to say hello, which is always nice. I like this candle. I'm looking forward to it. It smells good. I hope it burns well. Actually has like 3 layers. Do you see that? I don't know what the 3 layers are. Oh, aloe, eucalyptus, and rain. Smells good. I will put that there. Hopefully everyone had a fabulous week. It is Friday. Very happy about that. It is also wine o'clock, so cheers. Put this aside. I'm excited. I would say like, hi Prem, how are you? I would say that ever since I got back from my vacation this summer, I have been doing really good about coming online at least once a week and doing my lives. Um, Good, Prem. It's nice to hear that. And Ryan Jamal, be nice. Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm happy. It's Friday. It's a good week. Bargara Beach. Bargara Beach. Oh, is that a location? That sounds nice. Is that in the US? Let me know. Hi, Asan. Is that right? Asan Jamal. Hello, how are you? Anyways, today we are going to be doing hey Patrick, how are you? A video response. We're going to do a video response to a really popular hashtag. And this has been put out by Nova Mundi, and it is hashtag good old Dex. And it's a way to kind of feature some decks that are older in our collections, but just because they're older doesn't mean that they don't work as well as new decks that are coming out on the market these days. So oldies but goodies, you know the saying. Patrick, you're watching from New Zealand? That is so cool. Hi, Victor, how are you? Thank you for being here. And Asan, you're joining from Pakistan. Very nice. Very nice. I always get a huge variety of people from very diverse nations that pop in, and I love that. So thank you for being here. Um, I kind of feel like everyone is welcome here, right? I just ask everyone to be nice and be respectful and be open-minded, and we'll all get along splendidly. Oh, this is your first time on my channel. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I know there's tons of channels, tons of places to go, and lots of content to consume, so I appreciate you being here. Hi, Karen Suki, how are you? Nice to see you. Awesome, awesome. All right. So I think I was going to give it a few more minutes just to see if we had anybody else that was going to be joining in. I'm going to have a sip of my vino. I would love it if you did that. In fact, here you go. Please remember to like and subscribe. It's free. Ah, let's see. I can edit your videos beautifully. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Striker, hi, how are you? Hello, and thank you for being here. Hi, Encarna, how are you? It's nice to see you. I always call you Encarna. Encarna Soul. Encarna Soul. Awesome. All right, so today we're talking about oldies but goodies in our collections. And I don't have a lot because I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I went through a season where I purged a bunch of decks that I felt like, nope, nope, this doesn't work. Nope, we're getting rid of this. And I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. Real Outdoor Living, hi, thank you for being here. How are you? Thanks for coming by. You're watching from the restaurant. Ooh, yum. What are you having? What are you having? Is it lunchtime over there? It has to be. It has to be. Awesome. So yeah, I purged a whole bunch of decks. As a matter of fact, at the time, there was someone who was just starting their business, and they they would like you could put any decks that you didn't want anymore, you could put them in a box and then ship them, and she would like give you a bulk price on all of the decks, which was an awesome way to try to find new homes for decks. There's a lot of people that like to buy secondhand decks. Some people are skittish about using somebody else's decks, but there's a lot of people that are really open to it. And so it's a great way to repurpose, right? Repurpose decks. Oh, I'm great. It's Friday. Excited for the 10-minute weekend. That's hilarious. I'm good, thanks. You're right. Like the weekend comes and it passes by so fast. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. But you know what? We worked hard this week. We deserve it. Um, we deserve it. So yeah, let's jump in. So again, this is a VR to Nova Mundi. If you haven't checked out her channel, she is really cool. And this is hashtag good old Dex. So I do have some, but not as many because I got rid of a whole bunch. So I'm just gonna, these are in no particular order. In retrospect, I was like, oh, I should have put them in order from oldest to newest, but I didn't do that. So we're just gonna start here. This first deck, I feel like, thank you, Victor. Um, I feel like this deck might be out of print. It's the Morgan's Tarot. I have a glare. Grr. It's the Morgan's Tarot, which I always talk about. Here's the card backs. I always talk about this because this is actually not a tarot deck, but it's called Morgan's Tarot. And it's just one of those decks that is just really out there. So it's a hard hitter. I only pull this out when I need um, when I need a direct answer, no fooling around. Hi, Des. Are you cooking? Des is making enchiladas, everybody. She's making enchiladas as a going away meal for her child. I'm sad. I know she's sad. It's hard to say goodbye to our kids when they're ready to, leave the nest. Be wise. Hi, how are you? And welcome. We are looking at decks that have been around for quite a bit of time. Okay, making frijoles. Hold on. Is it frijoles a la charra right now? Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. I bet it smells so good in your house right now. Look at that. Here's the best card ever. Always remember this. This deck is just so sarcastic, but I love it. I'm happy that I got this when I did. It's hilarious. And I do often feel that you might need to be under the influence in order to get the proper message from this deck. But it's awesome. It's a great reader. And this deck has been around. I think like this might be the oldest one. Yes, it's a mix. It's a mix between Oracle and Tarot. I would use this to do a Celtic cross. I really would. I feel like you could get a good message from this deck. It's black and white. Yes, I have a deck for tonight. I have a deck for tonight. I have a low-key love affair for the deck that we used the last time. So I'm gonna bring that one, if that's okay. I know, I know. I don't know. I just decided to. It's black and white. I don't really do like colorless decks, but I got it. And now I'm glad that I did because now it's out of print. Now it's really hard to find. And this was just a regular mass market deck. So let me see. This deck is a US Games deck. I'm trying to find, okay, you know, this deck, the original print date on this deck is 1970. 1970. So yes, this is like the oldest, although my version is not from 1970. It is the oldest deck in my collection. 1970, I think the last printing was 2009. And I picked this up, I don't know, like 4 years ago. It's really cool. This is a really cool deck. The messages are on point. Yeah, that's true. The messages, yeah, this deck has been around forever. And there's a couple of cards that when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah. Like, there's one, let me see if I find it, that has like the old IBM computers. Oh my gosh. And some cards that I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like this. Do wacky do. Do wacky do. If you know what that is, let me know. Look at me already flipping all the cards in reverse order and all kinds of things. Look, like the olden days, the drive-through, right? Do you still have drive-throughs in your area? We still have one here. We still have drive-throughs. Yes, Karen, like the old IBMs. One is gold. Oh, old is gold. The creators have been more in tune with the universe. Yeah, yeah. And then there's cards in here, like for example, like this. This is a card like you could stare at this for a while and be like, what? You kind of have to like use this deck and then sometimes like put your own messages, you know, create your own meaning in your mind because there's a lot of stuff. There's even a blank card. The wheel card, yes. I have a feeling this deck is near and dear to you, Be Wise. Yeah. There's a lot of cool cards in here. This is the title card, but I mixed it in because I think it's a card. See? Hey, Clint, how are you? It's good to see you. Hey, E-Wellness. Peace, peace, peace. Peace and wellness. Hello, and thank you for being here. We're looking at oldies but goodies today. Oldies but goodies. This looks like 1970s. Yeah. Everything is possible with the white card. Just choose something and see what will happen. Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of really cool cards in here. I'm looking for that IBM card, Karen. Okay. Of course, because I mentioned it, it's probably going to be like the last one. Look at this. Far out. Fat Boy Friday. Oh my God. That's funny. Got your alien in here. Fat Boy Friday. Wow. Here it is. Look. Here's the key word. I still don't understand. Do you see that? That's funny. This card always makes me smile. Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool cards in here. Yep, and this deck is from 1970. That's when it was printed. So that means that the person that worked on this probably was working on this in the late 60s. You know? Morgan's Tarot. All right. So I'm just going to say one more time. Everyone is welcome to be here. Just be nice. If you're planning on causing trouble, you know, just move it along. That's probably best. It's probably best that you just move it along. Hi Anna, how are you? It's nice to see you. You saw 2 hummingbirds today? That's awesome. A dude card too? That's possible. I think I looked at all the cards. I'm not sure. Okay. I may not be anyone's man crush Monday. Aw, Clint. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of me. All right. So this next deck, I wasn't going to use this, but because Anna mentioned that she hasn't been, she's kind of been retreating to herself, and she pushed herself to go outside yesterday, and she saw 2 hummingbirds. So I pulled the deck out to see if I could find a hummingbird card, but it didn't have one. But this one is called Spirit Animal Wisdom. It's my animal deck, and there was not a hummingbird card in here. So let me check. This was published in 2019, so just before COVID. It's a really sweet deck. I'd say kind of like a watercolor deck. See that? For dragon lovers, there's your dragon card. It's really sweet. I like that it gives you the name of the animal, and then it gives you a little statement. It gives you a keyword and a statement, and then it also tells you the elemental associations, which is cool if you like to work with that energy. Your favorite panda. It's really cool, this deck. And it's been around for a while, and I think I got it because, you know, I have a low-key obsession with watercolor decks. And it just had a nice mix. Nice mix of cards. Colors are really soothing. Hedgehog. That cute. I think Desiree sent me a hedgehog video. Was it a hedgehog, or I don't remember what it was. But I think that I think that there was AI used in that video because it didn't seem natural. A possum, yes, the possums. At least it doesn't look like the possums that come here at night to eat the cat food. It's really cool. It's just really pretty, the art. You love hedgehog and sloth. They freeze. What freezes? The video or the animals? You like this deck, Karen? This is called Spirit Animal Wisdom. And this came out in 2019. It's a cool deck. Hair. Ooh, I always like this card. This card reminds me of Miracle. Panther. The video is okay. Okay. You're slow. Well, it's okay, Anna. There's no rush. And we're doing good. And we're just going to take it one step at a time, right? I love this one. Butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. Bear. It's just really pretty. Kangaroo. For my Aussie friends. I don't think we have any Aussie friends in the chat today. Ashish, hi. How are you? Hello and welcome. Dog. And of course, cats. This one is very Egyptian looking. And look at this one, elephant. It's just really cool. I like this artwork, which is why, even though I don't usually use a lot of animal decks, I never get rid of this deck because it's just really, really pretty. Your friend sends you a kangaroo and it jumps. Where? I hope it's is it a clip art? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is by Katie Jane Wright, illustrated by Nikki Strange. It's 50 cards, and this came out in 2019. Okay. Now, this one, I should show the boxes before I get into it. This is Sacred Destiny. This is an older deck too. This is by Denise Lynn. And I modified this deck from its original form only because I felt like the cards were really big, so I cut them down a little bit. All right, so this is a Hay House deck, and this came out in 2019. So yeah, a lot of these decks came out right before COVID, which I feel like that's probably when tarot and oracle really started to become mainstream. Here's the card backs. Hey Michael, how are you? Nice to see you here. I'll just show you some of the cards. This is a nature-based deck, so most of it is nature, but there are some animals. I love this deck. It's really cool. Real outdoor living. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you. New beginnings. I love this card. You know what, Michael? I get that a lot. A lot of people tell me my channel is not ASMR. I read tarot and oracle, and sometimes I do live readings. I do like VRs. I do spreads. I do different things. But I can't tell you how many people tell me that they watch my content and it helps to relax them, and then they fall asleep listening. So I don't take offense to that. I think that's really cool. The Empress. Well, this one is an Oracle deck, so there is no Empress in here. But if I find one that has Empress vibes, I'll show you. Energy. Yeah. I also use this card or this deck for a weekly card pool. I love it for that. I have used this for the theme of a reading as well. So that is pretty cool. This card always makes me think of what is that? The giant peach? I forget the guy's name. It's not Jim. James. Maybe James and the giant peach. That's what it reminds me of. Here is the mermaid card. I feel like in decks like this, there's always going to be like a mermaid card and there's always going to be a unicorn somewhere. I love this card. Look at that. Solitude. It's so good. Yes, James. Clarifying tarot. Yep. Yeah. It's great for that. We have this one. Freedom. Hey, Simple, how are you? Listen, Simple, let's stop for a minute, okay? I went to your fish tank the other day, and like, what is up with Blue Lobster? There's almost no fish left. Blue Lobster has lost his mind. He ate every one of his friends. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Okay, BY said because every tarot card can interpret in more than 3 possibilities. Yeah. Um, I would say even more than that, actually. You brought home more fish. You're a glutton for punishment. You guys, if you're not sub to a simple family lifestyle, you should. She keeps the best tank, and I go there to visit Blue Lobster. And Blue Lobster is a troublemaker. He be killing all the fish in the tank. And I don't know. He's always hunting. I love this card. Look at this one. That is so pretty. This one is called Flow. Like, go with the flow. Like that idea of just go with the flow. Right? Here you have the man in the moon. Eat or get eaten. Yes. It's a do or die world in that tank. Hi, Ava, your favorite dancer. Hi, nice to see you. How would interpretation of the moon tarot card? Well, the moon tarot card is very interesting, right? Because it's connected to Cancer, and a lot of times it's pointing to, it could be secrets, it could be things that are unknown to you, things that maybe you're afraid to see or afraid to take a deeper look at, right? Um, Sometimes this could be messages that come through in dreams. It could be so many different things. So it really depends what other cards come out with that moon card. But really, it's like this call to face the darkness, face the unknown, face the shadow parts of your life. Because if you shine light on a shadow, then it helps, right? It helps illuminate. It helps illuminate. Purity. I love this card. Look, I forget what it's called when an animal has eyes that are two different colors. I want to make sure I follow you. Yeah, simple. If you want in the chat, type exclamation point TMIM, and then that will drop your links, okay? And that way other people can follow you and check out Blue Lobster among others in there. It's a safe space. I really like going there. Sometimes I want to have like YouTube playing in the background, but I can't, like, I'm working, so I can't do anything where I have to like listen really hard. So I love going there for that because it's soothing to watch. But I don't have to think. Yeah, this is a great, great deck going forward. I'm behind by 3 minutes. Hold on, hold on. Love the solitude card. Oh, the small boat on the still water relaxes me so much. Yes, and you know what? That always makes me think of when I was younger. Because we used to go to this lake in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, and we were far from the ocean, so we didn't really get to go to oceans, but we could go to the lake. And one of the things that my dad used to like to do was, at the time, rowboat, right? Now the big thing is like kayaking and paddleboarding and things like that. But back then it was like you could take out a canoe or the rowboat. And he used to always take me, and he always made me paddle. He will always make me paddle. But I always remember that, and it was such a cool feeling. But to get back to whoever it was that asked me about the moon, when you paddle out into the center of the lake, right? Lake water is dark. And then you peer over the side, it's eerie. And something about that, like it's not the kind of water that you think, ooh, I can't wait to jump right in. Yes! Incarna, how did you know? Yes, we went there. And everybody pronounces it different. Hapakan or Hapakang. And we used to go to Shepherd Lake too. Shepherd Lake. Yes, that's so funny. I can't believe you know what I'm talking about. The moon card is connected to Cancer. But I guess you could see Pisces. There's a lot of water energy in there. You lived in Jersey for about 20 years. Yeah, I grew up there. I grew up there. That's so funny. But yeah, that's what I think of. Like that thought of falling over into the lake. Like that for me is like moon energy. All right, let me see. I was snorkeling. It was all black and I said, heck no. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? My whole life I went to the lake and I was totally fine with it, right? Then I came to Florida and you could go into here and look down and see your toenail polish. And after that, you can't go back to like getting into a lake and not being able to see what's happening around you. So I'm spoiled, I would say. Yes, for sure. There's a crab in the picture. Yes, because the crab represents the stuff that comes out at night, right? Like during the day, we're working, or if you're a student, you're going to school, you're doing chores, you're doing activities, you have social events, you have responsibilities, you're going places, your mind doesn't have time to think. But at nighttime, when you're slowing everything down and relaxing and getting ready for bed, that's when your mind starts to race and think about all the things that most of the time you just don't want to think about. So yes, that's what it represents. All right. Yes, it is. It's a small world. You just started doing it in the Florida Keys. Ooh, I love that. I'm gonna do this deck last. Anna, you're from Key Largo? I didn't know that. Oh, I had a real life, I had a real life moon experience. All right, I'll tell this story real quick. I went to the beach and the sun was setting and it was beautiful. And there was like a thunderstorm or a lightning storm in the night sky, but it wasn't like close to where I was. It was far enough away that you could sit and enjoy the view because it puts on such a gorgeous like display, right? And so I had my blanket out and I was just sitting in there, taking in the moment, enjoying. It was starting to get dark and I was just like, it's so beautiful. It was that twilight, right? Time of evening. And all of a sudden I felt something and I was like, what the hell? And I look and it was a crab. Okay, a crab had come out and come onto my blanket, and I could feel its little on my hands, and I freaked out. I flew off of that blanket. Where's my phone? I'm grabbing my phone. I'm trying to shine the flashlight. I'm looking all over, like they're after me, and I'm grabbing all my bags, my stuff. I got off of that beach so fast. So much for facing your fears. Ah, hey Alvin, how are you? I'll start, Izzy. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh. Yes. So that's what happened to me. That is what happened to me, friends. Mm, 2 years, no contact, only when he wants. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Alvin, how's everything going? Good? You're going on the road? Where are you going, Izzy? Dude, you go live a lot at nighttime. Yeah? Good. I love these. I love these. All right. Let's see. So, okay, this is the next deck. We're talking oldies but goodies today. Alice the Wonderland. Alice, so this is for any of you Alice fans. Alice the Wonderland. Some people love the this creator, some people hate it. A lot of people have very strong feelings about the eyes, the large eyes. I don't mind because I have big eyes myself. This deck, hold on, here's the book. This is a great deck. This is a Lucy Cavendish deck. This came out in 2018. This came out in 2018. So another oldie. You're going to the eye doctor. Oh, okay. Michael Stevens. I feel like I'm taking a test. What does the high priestess mean to me? Well, high priestess, that card is, there's a lot of duality in that card, right? You have the black column, you have the white column, right? This is a card that is asking you to connect with your inner guidance, with your intuition, and to find the answers in stillness, right? There's times where it's appropriate to take action, and there's other times where it's appropriate to be still. And so for me, the whenever I see the high priestess, that's a call to connect with my inner self and listen. Because sometimes we get so busy in our lives that we cannot hear when spirit is talking to us. We can't. So that's why you have so many people walking around like, oh, I feel disconnected. I don't like I'm not grounded. I don't really know what's going on. I need help. I need direction. I need guidance. So it's really hard. But yeah, that's what that means for me. The high priestess. Of course, that's just really high level. There are so many layers to that card. This is a nice little deck because it shows a compilation of her art over the years. So you could really see, when you get a deck like this, you could see how the artist has grown over time. You could see how the artist has grown over time. Michael, let me ask you, are you learning tarot right now? Let me know if you're learning tarot. I'm working on an archetype series, and I have a playlist for it, and I'm still working through it, so I haven't finished the whole thing, but I have from the Fool card to the Chariot so far. So if that's something that interests you, oh, the Gummy Bear Tarot, that one is so cute. That's a perfect starting deck. So if you wanted to take a look at that archetype series, I would say go right ahead because you might learn a lot. Like in that video, in those videos, I take a lot of time to go into all of the symbolism, the colors, the meaning, the history, and you know, all those things. I like this card. You see that? Look at this one. This one is nonsense. This is a great deck for journaling. I feel like you could pull out a card like this, go to the guidebook, and just sit and journal. A lot of deep insight. Heterochromia. Ooh, what is that, real outdoor? Heterochromia. The sun is in your face. You're going to be listening. Okay. It feels good to have the sun on your face, right? What do they call that? Vitamin D. Manage to be glad. That's a cute one. You read for your friend and it was interesting. Yeah, tarot's the kind of thing like if you start getting to know the cards and developing a relationship and getting grounded with the meanings, it could be quite insightful. My friend Chip told me the other day, Chip is from Are You Locked In? And he was like, it's fascinating. It's like the more videos I watch, the more pulled in I get. And it's true. That's how it is because there's so many layers in here. Yeah, this is a cool deck. Very, very cool deck. Curious Dream. Yep. So yeah, here we go. This is one of my, I'm gonna stop here, but this is one of my favorites. Why? Because I'm a huge fan of Vincent van Gogh. I love his art, and this, of course, is a spin off of the starry sky, the night sky. I love that one. Such a talent. Such a talent. So yeah, we are moving along. Today we are looking at decks that have been around for a long time. So we would consider these oldies but goodies. You gotta go. Okay, take care, Michael. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next time. All right, so this next deck is called The Hero's Journey. And it follows that idea, like right, if you're familiar with the story of the hero's journey, that's what it follows. It's really cool. And then this deck, let me see. This one came out in 2019. The artwork is by Rasuli. I don't know if you're familiar with this artist. I happen to adore this art. It is so good. I feel like this is such a great intuitive deck. I like to use this for nighttime pulls and also for dream work. I do a lot of dream work and I love this deck for that. And of course the colors. Indigo children star seeds have large eyes. Yeah. Maybe I'm a star seed and I don't even know it. That's a cool one. I know the colors are so gorgeous. Look, this one reminds me of Blue Lobster. Because the blue is so I swear Blue Lobster is like bright blue like this. Gosh. Blue Lobster is on another level. And Simple was saying that that is the kind of lobster that doesn't want to be with like, you wouldn't want to put two lobsters. Because I thought, well, maybe Blue Lobster is bored. Like maybe Blue Lobster needs a friend. But it's like they say about I think it's beta fish, right? They don't like to be together. You have to keep them separate, or the stronger one will take the weaker one out. This is Blue Lobster right here. Look at this one. This one is gorgeous. This one is called The Unknown is Your Friend. Lean into, embrace what is next. Because a lot of times we see what's coming next, right, in our journey, but we take a step back. We're fearful or apprehensive about changes. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you. I showed a card earlier and I was like, oh, this is for my Aussie friends, but there were no Aussie friends in the chat. It's good to see you. I feel like all of the continents are represented now. There we are. Look at that one. This is a great card. Land crabs attack me in the water. Ooh, they wanted that meat, Anna. They wanted that meat. Oh my gosh. Judith, how are you? Look, X marks the spot. I feel like In this deck, this is probably one of the only cards that is not my favorite, and it seems, I don't want to say dated, but kind of. It is kind of dated, and it's this one here. To me, I feel like this is very 90s. One came to your home and you told it was far away. I like blue crab. That's so good. Yeah. The artwork in here is really, really pretty. And the guidebook is really good for these. Like if you pull out a card, the information in the book is really, really good. And look at this one. The Quest. Plunge boldly into life. It is such a beautiful card. This is that shiny, that shiny cardstock. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, but I kind of like the shine. I don't know, for a while, shiny cards were like, oh, taboo. And then everybody wanted matte cards. But I don't mind the shiny ones at all. I don't mind them. So that was Hero's Journey. Again, I'm not really going in any kind of order. I'm just sharing all my old decks today. Oldies but goodies. It's like music. Oldies but goodies. All right. This one is Oracle of the Mermaids. Oh my gosh. Okay. It was illegal to keep a blue lobster because of the rarity. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. One day my kids found a turtle. It was really young, and they were concerned that the turtle wouldn't be able to survive on its own. So we created like a little enclosure for it, and we thought we'd take care of it for a little while until it could fend for itself. So then we went to, I don't remember if it was Petco or Pet Supermarket, one of those places. We got there and we wanted information like how to take care of it and what we needed to get. And they said, you better go back home and take that turtle and let it go because it is illegal to keep to keep those turtles. And I was like, what? I had no clue. So we went home and we released the turtle. Yeah. Petco sells them in New York City. Oh, many turtles in the Keys. Yeah. 15 years old. Okay, so are these the kind of turtles that are like really big and you need like outdoor enclosures for them? All right. While you tell me that, I'm going to tell you this deck, Oracle of the Mermaids, this came out in 2013. 2013. So 2013, we're in 20, so 12 years ago. That's how long this deck has been around. Oldie but goodie for sure. Every card has a mermaid on it. You know, a lot of us are obsessed with mermaids because, you know, how could we not be? Look at this one. This one looks like Blue Lobster. That one is so good. 20-gallon tanks. It's amazing that that much water fits into that tank. Look at this one. Here we have an expecting mermaid. Turtles mostly live in water and a little on land. You like the blue card, right? The blue card was called Water Flight. That one is about heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. I like that because, sometimes you're going through stuff and it feels so heavy. And it's like no matter what you do, you can't get rid of that sensation. And I love that feeling of like being in the water and floating and that feeling of weightlessness. It's like, I don't know, there's something so, so special about that. Look at this one. This one says concomancy. Tortoises are the big ones. Oh my God. Okay. Encarnasoul, are you still there? Do you remember Turtleback Zoo? The biggest tortoise I ever saw was at Turtleback Zoo. I love dragonflies. Judith. Judith, I have such a strong connection with dragonflies, butterflies, and ladybugs. Yes, Incarna, you're there. Yes, I love that place. Turtleback Zoo. A lot of memories there. It's so good. Okay, Judith, what I was gonna tell you, I just got a dragonfly charm, like a little pendant. Um, and I have to tell you, I wore it for a couple of days and it had such beautiful energy. It was the most soothing thing. I'm gonna grab it in a second and show it to you because it's so good. Hold on. I'm gonna get that. The dragonfly. This was one of the pieces that I unboxed the other day. So let's see. Do you see that? It is so pretty. This, I think that's like a blue, maybe blue topaz. I'm trying to find, oh, this would look good on that red card. Let's see. Wanna stand out? Maybe. There. Look, Des, maybe that's what you should do. Use your tarot cards to display your jewelry. See that? This has such great energy. It just feels really good. It's gorgeous. It's a nice size. And I got this from a reseller. And I felt really lucky because I bid on it and no one else bid and I ended up getting it. But this was the type of thing like you got to be careful because you bid and then somebody else bids and then before you know it, you get into this bidding war and then you could potentially end up spending a lot more than what you thought that you were going to spend. So you got to be careful with some of these with these reseller channels. That's your birthstone? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Aquamarine. That's December, right? December? Are you Sag? Are you Sagittarius? Look how pretty that is. This one is a dark card. Look at this one. It's called Experiments. Experiments. Yeah. So yeah, this is a cool deck and you don't realize like it's been around forever and ever. At first when she tagged me, I was like, oh, there's hardly I don't really have that many old decks. But then when you start looking and you realize you do. You do. Nandini. And okay, well, Nandini, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm not doing readings today, but I do readings sometimes. And yes, usually I don't charge for them. I do donation-based readings. So if you want, you can like and subscribe, and then make sure you tap the bell. And you got to change it from personalized to all. Otherwise, it doesn't tell you. And then whenever I do live readings, you could join and we could do your reading. All right. Hold on. One of the tortoises that Darwin brought from the Galapagos just died in 2006. Oh, wow. 1835. Wowzers. Thank you, Des. All right. I love this conversation in the chat, by the way. So good. Okay, this next deck we're going to talk about, Vision Quest. This is another oldie but goodie, and I love this deck. This is by AGM, and look how beat up my book is. I got this deck second hand, and the person that I got it from somebody else. So not all the decks that I get are straight off of Amazon. I um I do like to work with secondhand decks. I know some people have feelings about that, but I like it. And right now I'm working with almost all of Desiree's decks. That's been a lot of fun. All right, the Vision Quest. This deck has been out since 1998. So before the millennium, 1998. That is a long time. That's how long this deck has been out. I absolutely adore these card backs. Look at how cool those are. Okay, Nandini, I see your question. What does it mean if there's all of a sudden appearance of a wasp on the house? Okay, so Nandini, I don't know where you live, but right now is wasp season, so it's not unusual, right? This is the time that they are, building their little, hives and laying their eggs and doing all the thing. It is wasp season, so, just be careful, because we have a lot here, and yeah, my son got bit by one the other day. Yes, and we have a housemate that is allergic, so we have to always be very, very careful. Yeah, so you got to be careful with wasps, but I wouldn't think anything of it only because it's wasp season right now. This is the time that they're, doing their thing. Okay. I don't buy used decks, but they can be cleansed, so should be fine. I buy everything else used. Yes, exactly. And sometimes, like I recently received the deck actually yesterday, and I'm cleansing it with my Selenite Angel. So I'll show you. I have this Selenite Angel, which used to have a little pointy tip here until Miracle came and knocked it over 15 times and broke the tip. But this is what I'm using to cleanse the deck. But immediately when I grabbed this deck, I could feel very good energy coming from it. So when that is the case, I will just use some sound, some selenite, maybe some smoke, palo santo, or sage for cleansing. But if it's a deck that has a little bit of a stronger energy and an energy that doesn't feel good to me, then that I may wait a full moon cycle and let it sit in the full moon just to be sure. All right. The wasps around my house are very docile. Oh, that's interesting. So I have a little porch swing outside, and I sit there, and they have created little spaces all around me, but they don't bother me. They don't bother me. Like they just don't. I feel like if you go after them, they do. I'm not sure what happened or why one bit my son, but yeah. Okay, and Karen says, please do not kill them. We need them. They pollinate just like honeybees. Yeah, it could be an aggressive. Yeah, it could be aggressive. Okay, and Karna says, spray white vinegar on a budding nest and when they are out, and then remove the nest and respray. Does not kill them. They just don't like the smell. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. You're getting static? Are you getting static? Let me know. It could be you do hear static. I'll disconnect the headset because I heard some thunder outside, so maybe there's a little bit of something going on. You have to go feed the kids. Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Thank you for being here. All right. Can you still hear the static? Voice is not clear. Okay. Hold. Hold, please. Okay, what about now? Tell me if you can hear me better now. Yes, so it was the headset. Okay. It was the headset, and I was sitting here and I heard something outside and I was like, what the heck is that? But there's, so I've said this before many, many times. At this time, there's a lot of thunder and lightning storms practically every day, and a lot of people keep asking me, like, when are you going to start doing the fire again? But I can't, like, I literally can't. Like, it rains almost every single night out there. So it's really, really hard. Okie dokie. Let me see. I got stung once because you stepped on one. Yeah. So I got stung by a bee. It got me right in between my toesies, because they were like, there was a group of them hanging out like in the grass, and I didn't realize. And I was at a campsite and I was walking from one end to the other. I think we were flying a kite or something like that, and I got bit by one. But that happens, right? All right, so we were talking about the Vision Quest. I already forgot the year. This deck came out in 1998. I want to show this deck because I just love it and I'm planning on using it this month. Look how beautiful. That's the Lover's card. You see that? It's so good. So of course, indigenous art, and a lot of the cards were renamed, and the stories like represent some different things. I do rely a little bit on the guidebook, but this deck for me reads really, really well. I love this deck. It is a little bit of what I consider just a little bit of a pip deck, but nothing too terrible. I guess like a scenic pips. It has a keyword at the bottom, so you can see here 6 of fire, and then it gives you the keyword victory. So that's kind of nice. Here you have the medicine man, right? So instead of the magician, you have medicine man. And then the suit of air, we see a lot of feathers here, which is pretty cool. That feather reminds me of the feather. Look, I still have it right here. I went out the other day and I found a feather, and it was so meaningful for me because literally we were in a parking lot. There was not a tree in sight. So that I found this feather was amazing. I haven't seen, no. She took a break, right? She took a break, but it seems like I don't know if she deleted her stuff or if she like took it off so that no one can see it. But yeah, um I haven't seen any, like, all of her socials. Everything is all like taken down for now. Um so yeah, she just, needed some time for her. And hopefully all is well. Oh, that's so good. You set up a chair outside to do some earthing, and then the next day there was a feather. See? Look at this card. This is called Daughter of Water. Isn't that a great card? Yeah, it does. It looks like the same kind of feather. Yep. Son of Earth. So instead of like knights and queens and stuff like that, it's sons and daughters. And then look at this one. The Son of Air. So this would be like the Knight of Swords. It's so good. Alvin, you're still here? You're awake? Are you working or are you home already? Here you have 10 of Fire, Oppression. I feel like this might be a Thoth-based deck. Oh, I love this one. Look. Daughter of Fire. And, she's burning incense is what I imagine. Maybe that's a pipe. And then we have Mother for Queen. Mother of Earth. Look at that card. It is so good. This is a great, great deck. And I remember seeing this when I first started learning, and I was like, no, it's not for me. And then, you know, time went on and things changed, and I decided I needed to have it, and a friend gifted it to me because she had it. She didn't have any connection to it, and she was like, I'd rather you use it than it just sit there. You're at work, but you're listening. I appreciate you, Alvin. Did you have a good day? Was it busy? Look at this one. It's so good. No problem. Burning sweetgrass. Yeah, natives burn sweetgrass to call in guides and spirits. Yes, yes. And I was sharing that the other day that I just got a smudge spray that is made from sweetgrass. Look how pretty. It's just such a great deck. Like, look, instead of, this is card number 4. So instead of the emperor, we have the grandfather. I feel like it's just so rooted, right? In the lands and plant kin, animal king, spirit. It's so good. So yeah, that is my vision quest. I actually plan to use this deck next month, so I'm excited about it. The box is all like falling apart, but that's okay. That's a sign of love to call in. Okay, burning. Yes, the smudge spray. Yes. Yes, and it smells amazing. It does. So I have that one. All right, we're almost done. Okay, so this deck is another one. This one's an older deck, and my copy is very well loved and worn in. It is called the Shadowscapes. This is my purple deck. Purple's my favorite color. All right, this deck came out 2010 originally. In 2010. That just seems so crazy to me. It's been around forever and ever. This artwork is so gorgeous. Look. I feel like the only complaint that people have about this deck is that the artwork, there's so much fine detail in the artwork that everyone wishes that the cards were just a little bit bigger so that you could see the detail of the art. But I have I don't have, like, there's a version of this deck that comes with the big book. I don't have that. I have the version that comes with the little white book, but I have the app, Fool's Dog LLC. I have the app, and it has the full book in there, so it's amazing. I use that. It's so pretty. See that? It's gorgeous. And this deck was damaged. This deck was sent to me from a friend in France. And somehow water got into the package and the entire deck was waterlogged. And it was a mess. And at the time, you know, I was like, maybe I should just throw it away. But I couldn't do it. So I just tried to salvage the deck as best as I could. And now it's a favorite in the collection. I just can't get rid of it. The colors are so great. This is like, I don't know, there's a lot of fairies in here and mermaids and a lot of masks. I don't know, it's really cool. It's a great little deck. It reads so well for me. I don't struggle with this deck at all, but it is quite beat up. They did put out a version in the Czech Republic that has larger cards, but I wasn't able to get a copy of it. Now it's hard to find. It's so pretty. See that? It's glorious. It's such a great deck. Queen of Pentacles. It's hard. Like, I could get lost in the imagery and just look at it forever because it's so good. There's a lot of foxes in this deck. So look, that's the 5 of Wands. Look at that craziness. It's pretty crazy. But it's a great, great deck. It's been around a long time and I adore it. And that is my Shadowscapes. And I have 3 decks left. That's pretty crazy. The time goes by so fast. Yes. Yeah. So if you get the app, first of all, the app is the $3.99. Okay? You can't go wrong. Get the app, is $3.99. Then you can click on the image. You can see it big, very clear. And then you can go into it and you read the whole story for that particular card, because this is a deck that has a story. So you get all of that information in there. All right. This is another one. Healing with the Angels. This is my only Doreen Virtue deck. This is out of print. This is an oldie goodie. Like, it's so old that even like the pages, the guidebook pages are like yellow. Guidebook pages are yellow. This came out in 1999. 1999, you guys. All right. This is like angel energy. Look how cute. This angel deck, you like this one, Alvin? Yeah, this one is full of angels. Signs. Because, you know, our angels speak to us through signs. This is a great one. Self-acceptance. Spiritual growth. Yeah. This deck has been around forever. And I got this deck because I heard a beautiful, beautiful story around a group of friends that were using this deck. And one of them was going through a very intense situation. So they brought this deck to help support. And I believe it was like 4 or 5 people in this group. And they each took turns shuffling the deck and pulling a card. And each one of them pulled this card right here, Guardian Angel. And they took that as a sign from Spirit that they were being protected. You know, that even though they felt alone, that they weren't alone, and that their angels were always there with them. So I heard that story and I just about lost it. I was like, I have to have this deck. So I started to try to hunt it down and I ended up getting a copy of it. And some of the art is really old. Like, look at that. And this one, meditation. It's a pretty cool deck. Okay, thanks for the information, Smart Games. Romance. This one is nice. The color is very soft. This is a great deck for nighttime, right? If you wanted to pull a card before bed, but you don't feel like getting ambushed, then this is a very soft, nurturing, loving deck. Unicorn. Enchantment. Time to go card comes up for me a lot, and I have drawn that Guardian Angel card a lot also. I know, it is so good. Time to go. Hold on, I'm gonna look for that. Time to go. I hardly ever use this deck. I have it to have it. There's one card in here I'm gonna show you that I do not like at all. One time I was doing an energy clearing and I called in Archangel Michael to help me with the sword of truth and to help me cut and sever ties, right? And I grabbed this deck and I shuffled, and the Archangel Michael card came flying out of the deck onto the floor. I was flabbergasted. So yeah, I've had moments with this deck, which is why, you know, I haven't gotten rid of it. I haven't gotten rid of it. Time to go card. I'm looking for that one. Time to go. Did I pass it already? Maybe. I'm looking. Time to go. I don't see it. Is that in this deck or a different deck? Time to go. Yeah, she had all her decks pulled off the shelves because she turned her back on everything, and I don't know if she went back to Catholicism or what it was. Yes, because she has the little guardian angel one. That one is a tarot deck. This is the only card in here that I do not like. Because for me, I cannot help but see like these girls, Mary Kate and Ashley. I cannot help but see that face in here. And I don't like to see real people in tarot. Like, I don't want to look at a card or an oracle and see a TV persona. Like, I feel like it ruins it for me. So yeah, that is Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. Another deck, oldie but goodies, been around forever, since 1999. Fundamental Bible. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put this one here. Now, this deck is an honorable mention. It's the pocket archetypes. And the reason that I say that is because this particular deck came out in 2024. But the original version of this deck came out in 2019. So I did want to share. So I have the mini version. The original is much larger and thicker cardstock, but I really like this size. This size for me is perfection, and this deck has been around forever. I just recently got it, but it's a deck that's been around for a while, 2019, and it's such a great deck. It's so good. Hey, Victor, you are still here. Yeah, this one is a really cool deck. And this is a deck that is around the idea of various archetypes. So I plan to do like a study, like a deep dive study with this deck. I just haven't started it yet. I'm thinking in September. I like that card. That is so card. Daily guidance from your angels. Yeah. And the Archangel Oracle cards. I know she had so many decks. And now the decks that she did, like they just took it, the ones that she did, her and Radley Valentine, all they did was take off her name and just leave Radley Valentine's name on it. And you know, there's like a bunch of pirate copies of those decks everywhere. Such a great deck. So yeah, this is Pocket Archetypes. It's an honorable mention because this version of it just came out, but the original version of this deck came out in 2019. I'm gonna set that one aside, and that's it. We're down to our last deck. So this is Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell.
And when I first started learning, I felt like this deck was all the rage. Like the cardstock and the style was very like Danielle. I don't know if this was before Danielle Noel. It was like, it was just very in. People loved it. So I have a copy of it. And my copy is damaged, of course, because I messed it up. This came out in 2018. And I have half the deck in here, but I'll show you some of the cards so that you could see. You know, it's like collage style, that dream. It's very Danielle Noel, and Rebecca Campbell has other decks like this. I think, isn't she the one that has like that ocean waters deck or something like that? I love this card. This one too, Council of Light. I like the colors in here. Some people say, oh, it's like a dream. I don't dream like this. To me, this is very like starseedy, which is why I ended up not using the deck. Because there were cards in here like this one, Starseed, that to me, I'm like, what does that even, you know, like I wouldn't know what to make of that. And then there's other cards that I liked a lot. And there were two decks. There was this one, Work Your Light, and this other one, I forgot, Healing Your Light or something. I can't remember what it was called. But there was a lot of similar energy in both of those decks. And for a while I had both, and then I got rid of it. This one is the card that I ruined. I loved it. And then it got water damage, so then the back peeled off. So then I scanned it and I ran it through the printer so I could get the color back on. Oh my gosh. But it's such a cool deck. It's just I don't use it because all these things, like this one, Akasha and Lemuria, Mintakan. You could tell the ones that are in here are the ones that I'm like, what the hell? Pleiades. Like, it's just something I don't resonate with. Even though, you know, there's a lot of people that are into that, right? So there's a lot of, you know, a lot of cards like this. Imrama. So yeah, there's a lot of cards. So what I was gonna do is tell you what I did with the deck. Because it's damaged, there's 3 cards that got water damaged, and then they peeled, like the card broke into 2 pieces, so it was no longer a usable deck, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So I took my favorite cards from this deck and I made my own version of a deck. And I'm gonna show it to you. I made like a little crossword puzzle deck. And then on the back, I laminated the card. So on one side it has a crossword, and on the other side it has my card. I worked on this deck for ages. This was a labor of love. And I was so motivated and inspired. And you know when they say, like, when you're doing something, don't tell people about it? I'm just gonna say, when you're working on stuff, don't tell people about it. Because what happened was that I shared with someone that I was working on this, and they were like, well, that's never gonna work. And I swear that killed everything. It killed my entire motivation towards completing the deck, and I stopped the project and I put it away for at least a couple of months. And then finally one day I took it back out and I completed it. But then I never used it. I never used it, and all because, you know, I let someone steal my joy, steal my thunder. So learn from my mistakes. When you're working on stuff, trust your inner guide, trust your intuition, and just do what you want to do, because there's always going to be somebody that comes and is like, That's stupid. Don't do that. Blah, blah. You're just wasting your time. That's never going to work. Like, why would we do this to ourselves, right? So that's what I did. I want to say that this was 20 cards. I used, I don't know if you're familiar, chicken. Remember that chicken soup for the soul? I had a crossword puzzle from that book, and that's what I used to create them. And then on the back, I just put my favorite cards from the deck so that I could still use it from time to time. See? And it's just really pretty. It's really pretty. I never use it. And I need to. I need to reclaim. I need to reclaim my power. It is very zen. And it was so exciting. I was so thrilled to do it. It was a labor of love. It took a lot of work because I didn't want to like do the words. Like I marked all the words, but these were not words that were in the crosswords. I took about an hour with each card to find my own words in the card so that if I was reading for someone, I could look at it and the first word that stood out to me, I could use that and then use the message from the back of the card. That was the idea. And like, why wouldn't that work? Why can that not work? Why can that not work? It could work. And it shuffles really good, see? Yep, anything you love could be on the back. Yes, yes. So I bought a laminator machine and all the little thingies, and I had such a good time putting this together. So yeah, there's one in every group. Somebody that comes and that's stupid. But you know what? I ended up completing it, and one day I will use the deck. One day I will use the deck. But yeah, that's why I wanted to show this one last, because I wanted to show what I had done. Like I had reworked the deck into something else for me. So yeah, that is my response to Nova Mundi's tag, hashtag good old decks. I want to say thank you to everyone that hung out with me today and kept me company. We had a lot of really good conversation about all kinds of things, which is what I love. Like, I know my channel is about tarot and oracle, but I love when we talk about everything, you know, spirit and animals and like whatever's going on. Like, I just love that. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If any of you are going to be at Truth Wave later, I will see you there. I will be on with Victor doing card pulls tonight, and I'm super excited about that. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and log off now so I can have some time to recharge my batteries. And then, hey Angela, thank you for dropping in. Yeah, so I'll recharge my batteries and then I'll be ready for meditation tonight. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.